Hello. Thank you very much for joining me today. Although maybe I kind of wish you wouldn't, because this is just going to be embarrassing. But you know what? That's my job. I feel like that's my job. To confront head on. I'm not going to hide from some of the stupid things Americans are saying out there in the wild. It's my job to confront it. Apologize for it on behalf of my countrymen. Some of it's just hard to even comprehend, though. I thought I was done with this because, I did the first video, and that took a long time. It was 2 different parts. But then I saw, there's a part 2. So now this is going to be 2 more parts, I'm sure, because it takes me a while to digest these. Let's do it. These are just stupid tweets, about things Americans have said. It's by That's Right. Check them out, link down below. That's right. I'm Finnish. I either get told my country doesn't exist or that I'm actually Korean. It's one of those where I'm kind of speechless. I have no idea what does that mean? Why is anyone telling you you're Korean? Is there some kind of history here I'm missing? Must have been some kind of significant piece of history here that I'm totally missing. The Korean Empire conquering Finland or something. I don't. Next. I don't want to look at this one anymore. It's enraging. I work in Edinburgh City Centre, and the worst question I'm asked every day is, why won't you accept dollars? It's real money, I don't know, why would they accept dollars? Do you go to the 7-Eleven in Missouri and ask why don't they accept pesos or the euro? I don't know what that means. And also, dollar's not really a real money. It's real money, barely. It's not backed by anything. It used to be backed by gold. Assuming we're even talking about the American, the United States dollar. There's more than just that. There's more dollars. Anyway, an American veteran was angry I couldn't give him the veteran's discount at my store in Canada. I'm Italian. Once, while talking to an American, he told me, "Wait, you have cars in Italy? I thought you traveled by boat." Have you ever heard of just a small car company? Maybe you haven't heard of it. Based out of Italy. I don't know. Yeah, Italians do have cars. Amazing. Remarkable. This music is about to make me rage, too. In Ireland, an American asked me where the best place to see leprechauns was. She was serious. I had to tell her, hopefully this woman, hopefully she was 4 years old. I had to tell her they weren't real. Aw. Did you tell her about the tooth fairy, too? In China, an American girl asked about contact lenses, concerned if they would fit her due to the belief that Chinese eyes are actually smaller, usually smaller. Wow, that is mildly offensive and stupid. I mean, even if Chinese people's eyes were actually smaller, whatever. I don't know. It's just stupid. Does anyone think their pupils are smaller? I don't know. There's a lot of different things about this that are just stupid. I'm sure they would let you know if they didn't have the American-sized, contact lenses. In a group I'm on, UK. American questioned if our dollars are different. I politely pointed out our currency isn't dollars. She asked how she could buy anything without knowing how much it costs. How did you end up in the UK without knowing anything, even as far as what currency you'd be transacting in? How do you end up there? Like, you didn't. I'm just kind of surprised. Like, that's probably one of the first things they mention in any kind of like tour video or directions, like, how to convert your currency, make sure you're not getting scammed, get it for a decent rate. How do you not even know? Without knowing how much it costs, I directed her to a currency converter. She kicked off as she pays more in dollars than us. What? I have a good one. I'm from Austria, and an American confused this with Australia. Classic. And asked about kangaroos. I haven't even seen one in a zoo, but I digress. Then said American asked me if I spoke Swahili. I'm still confused, and that was like a decade ago. Not sure if I should be proud she knew Swahili or not. No, you should probably not be proud. I will say, when I'm reading the word Austria, sometimes I may think it says Australia. That's about it. If someone's speaking it, like saying the word Austria, I don't know how you get that mixed up. Or, tell by the accent. My childhood home in Ireland is a very old cottage, and there's a big stack of turf outside. Buses of tourists would stop to have a look. They would come in our gates, climb the pile of turf, knock it down. Maybe 50 people each wanting a picture of their own. And then they would steal pieces. You need to make this a business, apparently. $10 a picture. It was the American or Japanese tourists? Well, which was it? Because I'm not apologizing for any Japanese tourists. I used to run out and start barking at them. Usually made them confused enough to run away. That would be hilarious. I bet they still talk about that to this day. The Irish bark at you if you steal their turf. So would the tour guide not like inform these people, hey, you can't do that? You can't be climbing on private property? I had an American friend who thought Loch Ness was in Seattle. Okay. Did you tell him about the monster? A friend of a friend won't come to Aldgate Brick Lane in London because she's afraid of Jack the Ripper. Tell her not to worry. Sherlock Holmes will protect her. No, Sherlock will just find out that it was Jack the Ripper when it's all said and done, when they find her body. When I told a group of American students that I am from Ukraine, they said, "Oh, so you are basically Russian." It was after the war started. Oh, that makes it even worse. You can get punched saying something like that. I was seeing when this video is from. It's from 1 year ago. That's insensitive. And, it shows a total lack of global events. Or maybe they were just trying to get punched in the face. I don't know. Wow, that is stupid. I was a UK tourist in LA, and Hermosa Beach surf dude asked me what it was like to live in a country with no beaches. Whew. I don't know what to say. You know it's an island. You don't know that. What do you think it is? I overheard an American saying he was rightfully the King of Wales and wanted 800 years of tax to be paid to him. Damn, that'd be nice. He might have been schizophrenic. He didn't like it when we spoke Welsh. Okay, this one at least I can just laugh at because that dude is clinically insane or joking. I don't think he actually, well, yeah, he's either insane or joking. I'll leave it at that. So I can laugh at that. Man asked me where I was from. I said Poland. He said, that's pronounced Portland. My God, that's stupid. And the idea that you, like, if you were from Portland, you'd be like, oh, my God, I'm from Portland. I lived there my whole life. I never knew it was pronounced Portland. I always thought I was from Poland. Got yelled at Disney because I didn't join in with the Pledge of Allegiance at the flag ceremony. Told them I'm British. I should join in anyway. Why are they doing the Pledge of Allegiance on a Disney? What? Well, at first I thought this was a Disney cruise. This is what, Disney World? I don't know. I didn't know they did the Pledge of Allegiance there. That would be hilarious if you started doing it, though. Or if you just started singing Yankee Doodle. I'm from Hungary, and an American once told me that my native language is German, because the Hungarian language isn't used anymore. I'm glad they know so much about your country to inform you what language you speak. I had an American customer show me a €1 coin and repeatedly ask me, "Is that $1?" And when I said, "No, that's £1, she said, "Yeah, so $1." The same woman on a different day put a dollar bill in our tip jar even though we're in England, and $1 is worthless to us. It'd probably cost you more than $1 to go, like, walk down to the currency place and get that exchanged. So it might actually be worthless, huh? I can't believe these Americans end up abroad without knowing that the US dollar is not the world dollar. It's in the name. An American guest of mine asked me, amazed, why I call my city Firenze when it's properly pronounced Florence. Once I had an American ask me, how far away is my city from the airport in Barcelona? I'm from Argentina. It's pretty far. I guess you could have told him, you know? Let's look it up. I don't know, a couple hundred miles? Few hundred? A few thousand miles across an ocean? Kiwi here. I often get angry. Americans tell me New Zealand lives in a dictatorship. Who are these angry Americans? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Who are these people? See, what bothers me particularly about this one is he says, often. Often? How can that be a misconception? What? Like, I've never heard that. Who is saying that? Why are so many people saying that? I was on the top of historical Masada in the Judean desert. A USA tourist asked if they made it for the movie. Okay. What movie? Once a girl from the US was trying to convince me that a socialist left government is the best that could happen to a country. I highly disagree. She was like, oh, because you haven't been in a socialist country. To what I said, I was born in Venezuela. To what she said, Minnesota is not socialist, you dumb. That's in the US. I don't know, I might leave. I don't know if I could take this, guys. What am I reading? I was like, why they always mix Venezuela with Minnesota? We don't. Maybe that moron does, okay? And I am sorry. I apologize on their behalf. I apologize for being of the same country. But we don't confuse Venezuela for Minnesota. That's just this moron. I hope. Because those don't even sound similar. You know what? This is the last one. I can't take it. Guys, I'm about to actually, okay. I'll go to the midpoint. Once a girl from the US was trying to convince me that oh, this is the one I already read. Thank God. Let's move on. An American girl in Israel once said out loud, wait, sunflower seeds come from sunflowers? Oh, like the ones you eat? Sunflower seeds at the store? She couldn't believe those came from the sun. Those were actually sunflower seeds? An apple comes from the apple tree? I still remember the time when one of my American friends texted me asking if I knew that Ireland was real. They apparently didn't know that it existed until about 2 months ago. What did they think it was? If I remember correctly, then they said, hey, did you know that Ireland actually exists? I thought it was just a big joke. What's the joke? What's the punchline? They also didn't know the difference between a country and a continent. Last one. I was talking to an American once about tuna, and he asked me how you knew what China was because Norway doesn't have schools. Okay, is tuna a place? I'm not familiar. I'm looking up tuna. Or is that just a misspelling? This one's actually confusing to me. I don't think, apparently it's a river in Russia, but I think this person made a typo, which is, this is confusing. But okay, talking to her about China, him, and he asked me how you knew what China was because Norway doesn't have schools. Well, guys, I don't even know what I just did. That one, yeah. I can't anymore. I can't. That was part 3. Part 4 will come out when I gather myself back up, when I calm down in a couple weeks. Thank you very much for watching. And I apologize. I'll see you guys tomorrow.